tiger on the prowl. I'ma make it go wild. I'm original, and I told you so. I'm a kid in the candy store, with the leather on the denim. I ain't the cure, I'm the venom. If you wanna find me, find the taillight. Something's coming in, you're gonna wanna take a red eye. It's time to go. It's time to go. Get ready. Get ready. Get ready. Don't blink, don't blink. Get ready. Get ready. Get ready. Don't blink, don't blink. I don't wait for nobody. I'm a summer name on the dotty. City lights call my name, drawn to the flame, and I'm feeling kinda naughty. I hit the ground running, step out the door and I'm stunning. Better hold tight cause you know what's going down. I'm setting the pace cause this is my town. So get ready. Get ready. Get ready. Don't blink, don't blink. Get ready. Get ready. Get ready. Don't blink, don't blink. Get ready. Get ready. Get ready. Don't blink, don't blink. Get ready. Get ready. Get ready. Don't blink, don't blink.
Out of the booth, she springs out. What up, Wednesday? Hi, everybody. It is great to see you all. Lots of people early in the comments. Aline, first, congratulations. Well done. Wait. That's right. Got to give it up. Got to give it up for first. And Lucio, when you come in like 2 days before, that's what we call cheating. But I appreciate the effort and I like it. So don't you ever change. Don't you stop. Don't you stop. It is really great to be here. I'm looking forward to the show. We are going to talk about a melee. We are going to look over a shit out obstruction. We didn't do it last week, did we? Like, you guys better remind me because I was looking at my folder and I thought, wait a minute, we might have looked at this, but I don't think we did. We're going to look at a dangerous or not situation in the circle. I have a Twitter rant. How fun is this going to be? And we might talk about the thing that Niels wants me to talk about. Look, I don't know. I'm considering doing it just as a private FHU third team yellow, like spontaneous live, because it is very personal and, but it involves other people. And so I'm mindful of that. And I'm also, it'll be a little hard for me to talk about. So I might do it as a private thing. Let's see. I'm open to bribes. So let's hear it. Okay. I am going to go through and say hi to everybody, do a few announcements, and then we're going to get going because I know that's what you're all here for. So as I announced earlier, and I love this, how elbow cough. It's like, YouTube, I think you mean dab. Like, that is just so funny. I just can't stand it. Elbow dab, elbow cough. And there you are. Rachel had not poured her drink, but now she has. Oh, what a relief. Oh my God, Rachel, I was so worried for you. Your drink. Obviously, Lucio's here, which is really great. I love this whole brother team up thing. So there's somebody in the comments later who needs to bring his brother as well. We're going to meet him in a second. Andy's saying hello. Thank you so much. Andy and Niels are part of my moderating team. Simon Milford as well, but he can't be here because he's got some stupid meeting. It's like hockey and administration. And I just thought, why not turn it into a What Up Wednesday watch party? Like, that's way more fun. Anyway, so he's not going to be here today. So again, I'm missing my left arm. When Simon's not around, I don't feel right. He is such an integral part to everything that I do with FHumpires. He's a fan, a support, encouragement, and I can't say enough good things about him. So there you go. Yeah, Lucio. Okay, we'll see. Aline, I'm great. How are you? Let's hear it. Let's find out. Thomas, nice to have you back. Very pleased. As we said before, Rachel is ready. Andy is great. He's tired. He's having second dinner. Is that like how the hobbits would be, like 11sies and onesies and third breakfasts? I think so. Mark Cummings, thank you for coming. Great to have you. Rachel's on a 5-day weekend. What? How dare you be so awesome? Oh my goodness. Here, I might do this. Yeah, let's do this. Okay. So now you guys can see all the comments coming in as well. And Gopi's here. Hi, friend. And Lou. Lou, I can say it out loud now. I can say it out loud because Charlie Broom said it on the GB USA first game on the weekend. So I was like, hey, coach, is it okay? Is it public? And he's like, yep, guess so. So I'm going to be, with all the fingers crossed, heading down to Virginia Beach around June 12th-ish with the Canadian women on a tour. Is it funnier when you can actually see me physically, like take my finger and like hammer on the Rodecaster Pro? Probably. So yeah, it's going to be hopefully the first tour since the pandemic, and first matches for the Wolfpack. Very, very exciting. Obviously, things can change in a heartbeat. The good news is that BC, where most of the players where the players are centralized and most of them come from, they've just relaxed their restrictions. Not so much here in Alberta, but maybe tomorrow that's going to happen. And yeah, I'm stoked, but I actually just realized that I have no idea what I'm doing again. So I better start preparing. So that's the thing that's happening in my life. But and the reason I'm mentioning this is because Lou is from that area and I am so excited. Hopefully I'll get a chance to meet him. He's going to help me out with restaurants and local knowledge, and that's going to be dope. So yeah, I couldn't be happy about that. Fantastic. Let's see. Oh, so Leon, you must be talking about the European Championships, which start on, I believe, the 4th, and they wrap up on the 13th. I have a set sleep schedule. Okay, because I am going to be getting up every day for the games. So 4:30 in the morning, first games, my time. And aside from that, there's 2 days where they start at 1 a.m. and there's 8 games that day. So the question is, let me put a straw poll to you. Should I just stay up all night into the day, look at the calendar and work out the time zone change? I think it should be 8 hours difference. I'm 8 hours behind Europe, that area of Europe. And should I stay up all night and just like watch all the games? Or should I try to go to bed for maybe 4 hours and then get up for 1 o'clock? You tell me, because I'm here for your feedback and your advice. I know I've done it every way. So there you go. Simon's here. Great to have you, Simon. I am taking your suggestions on board, and I am working on that positioning workshop as a standalone, self-guided course. But you know what happens when you do that, Simon, is you start editing your video and you realize how much better you wish it was. So I'm trying to let go of my perfectionist instincts and do that. So that's my goal. Peter Winter is here. Yay. It's been a hot minute since we've seen you, Peter. So thanks for coming in. And Rachel is getting ready for Friday session with Lila. Leila is a good friend of mine, and I am really excited about this conversation. I know Friday is not a normal time for you, for me, for anybody, but she does have a really, really cute 4.5-month-old baby. So we work around him a little bit, Arthur. He's very cute. Go to her Instagram, find out. But yeah, I got to talk about that announcements as well. Stain is here from cloudy Antwerp. It is cloudy here in Calgary as well. We have had rain for almost a week now, which I got to say sucks. Wait.
Squirrel.
No, that's the wrong one. It's there we go. So yes, Europeans are going to be very, very interesting. I'm glad you guys are aware of that and talking about it, because again, this is where we get our fuel from. So let's get behind Europeans for sure. Gary is here. I'm very happy to see you. I hope everything's going well for you. And let's see. Will Troll show up? Could we be so lucky? Yeah. Okay. I got to tell you this little thing. Okay. So in addition to Leela coming, let's see, and let me put that one up. So here's Leela 2 days from now, same time, same YouTube channel. So set your reminders, subscribe to the channel so that you make sure that you get the notification that we're going. If you don't have anything to do on a Friday night, and that's what time zone it is for you, then I'd love to see you. If you have people that you get to hang out with, go hang out with human beings in real life. I am stoked for you. Okay. So don't, do you have fun, do all that kind of stuff. But as I'm preparing, because next week, Martin Madden is also going to be on the show. It's going to be on the Thursday. So we're going to have a What Up Wednesday, and then the next day, Martin Madden. And again, working around his schedule. He's kind of a busy dude right now because he is a police officer. And so we're working around his schedule and that sort of thing. But Martin said, oh, please let the trolls in. So I said, okay. So mods, troll sensitivity level, low for the Scotsman. Also, I feel kind of safe because Martin's going to be there. So there you go. That was very funny. Chad's here. Hi, Chad. Chad and Brian are part of the first clip that we have. So I'm excited. You made too much on purpose. That's very funny. Yeah, you're not lady, and you know how we do. We just sit here and chat and say hi to everybody. Everybody gossips for a little while. It's my favorite part of the show, I got to say. I am definitely going to be nocturnal. I did this again. I've done this a couple times, but really, it was really bad during the Commonwealth Games when they were in Australia, because I would sleep from about 5 to 9 p.m. I'd get up, I'd have dinner-ish or something. I'd have food. And then I would watch games from, again, yeah, I think it was around midnight or 11 or midnight, the games would start. And I'd stay up all day. And of course, it was Commonwealth Games, so there's a lot of games. And I think there would be 8. And I'd be done around 10 a.m. I'd go to bed. And I would sleep for 4 hours, get up and have lunch, do some exercise, walk around in a daze, go back to sleep at 5. Like, it was crazy. And I did that for 10 days, 2 weeks? Craziness. Why? Because I love hockey. Nick, hey, yo. Good to see you, friend. And yeah, that's the thing. Oh no, it's okay. No, you're good. So you just have to make sure that you eliminate the trolls that ask me to marry them and give me flowers. But if they're asking Martin to marry them, it's cool. We've already established this. We've had this by agreement. Yes, I should sleep for 4 hours, says Aline, and then wake up. Oh, I don't forget. My problem is falling asleep when I have hockey coming up. Because I don't know, like, do you have this? Everybody, do you have this when you're going on a trip and you have to wake up at, before the butt crack of dawn, and you go to bed early like you're supposed to, and maybe you've been sleep adapting, but you are so worried about sleeping through your alarm, you just can't fall asleep. That's me. I'm telling you. Glad to hear. I am. I am safe and well. I'm still hiding in my apartment because we are third waving it like bosses. I definitely am 8 hours behind you. And Ian has a new profile pic that I can't really see because it's very small. And I can't see that. And Gooseberry goes to wet his whistle. He's not watching. Not right now. Well, maybe he is. And he's trying to figure out what the hell he's gotten himself into. Poor guy. It's going to be super fun. I'm excited. Every interview chat that I have with umpires is something new. And what I absolutely love is that after I stoke up my courage, I then send a message to these folks and I say, hey, I'd love to have a chat with you. These are the things I'm thinking about. And they are so receptive, even if I haven't met them in person before. And Martin is one of those people that I haven't actually met in person. So I'm really excited about it. Okay. How are we doing? 12:17. Look, I've done way worse. Okay. I'm just saying I've done worse where I've talked intro. I'm just excited to say hi to all of you. Okay. And Andy says, if I'm coming to Ireland, I'm to let him know, obviously. I'm going to tell everybody where I go so that they can all come say hi and we can hang out. That's how I want to do things. Okay, quick announcements. I would like to say a very big thank you to a whole bunch of green members. Okay, I'm falling behind a little bit. So if you're in a batch that I'm going to talk about next week and I'm going to say, like, I'm going to get to you, okay? Because I love you all and I'm really appreciative of Barry Hainsworth, Graham Wilcox, Stefan Houston. I hope I'm saying that right. James Butler, Yob. You know, I should just not try to say the names. No, I should. Lou, hey, you're in there. Richard Shorter, Rob Jenkins, Harmut Otto, my friend from Germany, Matthew Bowen, and Kevin Dempster, who is in Japan. Dude, he is getting ready for those Olympics, and he is psyched. I can tell you that much for sure. If you want to get in on that amazing FHU third team action, we have the just $3 US a month is all you need to help support us. And then with the yellow, you're going to get this private one-on-one mentoring, and you're going to see some results of that in our first topic today. I'm excited about that. And be a group and come save a whole bunch of money as a big group and join anyway. FHU third team, FHU3T.com. There it is. Mods, put it in the chat. There you go. Where is everybody? What? Okay, look, dude, you put this out here. You're on blast now. You are absolutely on blast. And he's got a date, and he's got a date. Oh, that's so dope. I wish you all the best. So, there you go. Somebody was umpiring last night. Sounds like. Okay. Another big thank you I wanted to toss out is to my friend Ari Vandenberg. Okay, this is a picture of us in 2019 in Amstelveen. We were at the Pro League, and we went for a really lovely lunch and beverage and watched some games together. And I've known Ari for quite some time, and very lovely. He extended some support to me last week, and he said, all the roses for me. But he meant roses, and that's cool. Because I don't like roses, but I sure do like a rosé. So Ari, thank you so much. I don't know how often you're able to tune in to watch, but I'm going to clip this and I'm going to send it to you anyway, because I can't wait to be able to hang out with you again, because that was one of the highlights of that trip for sure. So there you go. That's another one. And okay, I've already talked about Leo on Friday. Don't forget. Okay, that's a thing that's happening. Oh, of course, I keep forgetting. I always forget to turn off that scene. And the last little piece I wanted to let you know about is that on last Friday, I think he released it, I was on with Teo McLeod and Scottish FIH umpire Duncan Ruzek, I think FH Indoor, and we had a lovely chat about, I may have got a little ranty about a few things. Like when I think about it, I'm pretty sure there was some ranting involved and it involved hockey fives. So that was a thing. And then we picked a dream team of players from current active FIH players and talked about what we liked about them and that sort of thing. And I even picked an umpiring playing team. So that's a thing. Half court press, and that's HCP 3, because this is the third time I've been on Teo's podcast. So give it a listen and let me know what you think. Am I right about the players that I chose? I'm pretty proud of that effort. Last thing, Niels is going to... Why? Why would you be banned, Niels? You're not banned. I sure hope not. Niels, my youngest friend in FHU3T, has decided that we really need to get on Discord. And if you're looking at this graphic here and you're thinking, I have no idea what this stuff means, neither do I. Okay, this is like as nerdy as it possibly can get. But hey, what I'm hoping is this could be another place where people could come and access discussions and a real community vibe. And maybe I can access, the youngs, all those millennials and Gen Zs. Come on, umpiring's awesome, and we need to get you involved, and we need to support you, and we need to help you build that community that you need as well. So Discord. Oh, I'm trying. But I don't need to show these ones. Are you going to be the only mod on Friday? I don't know. Maybe. Got a big job for you. You're there. I should tune into Steve Wright. Serious Jockin'. No G radio program. Total use of chat sound effects. What do you mean, chat sound effects? How very dare you, Nick? How very dare you? Oh, and there it is. There's the Discord channel. So there you go. You can click on that link. You might need to put a space between the question mark to make it hyperlinkable there, friend, but maybe it shows up. Who knows? And Lucio is in that Discord. So Niels is the expert, okay? Niels is going to help us, guide us in this journey to building a community there that gives you value and information. So I hope that is something that'll vibe with some of you. But if you don't worry. I'm still going to be doing all these other things and the Facebook group for Yellow in particular. Don't you worry. And Andy says join Discord so we can all have the chats. Okay, what do you mean? Nick, you're just provoking me, sir. Okay, let's get to it. Chapter mark. There you go. You have a stream deck? Okay, Niels, we got to talk. Okay, let's get into the first topic and the first clip. So this comes to us from my friends Brian Riddle and Chad Forey, who's in the chat. Brian said he's here, but he hasn't said hi yet, and I'm a little mad. Brian, say hi, please. Say hi. This happened in their game. We're looking at the clock, and this clock is counting up, so it's coming into it's in the 5th minute of the 4th quarter in this game, and it's to all reports. Chad, please, if I get any of these facts wrong, please step in and correct them for me. The game had been pretty good up until now. No cards of significance, I think, anything like that. And it's a 2-1 lead for the team in white, who are the Crusaders. I'm going to call them the Crusaders and Ink because of the jersey colors they're wearing, and I do not want to be misconstrued because I don't like that. So I'm going to say Crusaders are in white, Ink are in the dark jerseys, and we are going to talk about this situation. So I hope you've been watching a little bit. obviously I'm going to keep it playing in the background, and I'm going to particularly just play the first little bit again with the sound on. And then I want to have a really thorough chat about this, because there's a lot we can talk about. None of it is about a criticism. These are very, very hard situations, and that's why this is so valuable. And I really appreciate Brian and Chad letting us take this opportunity and being willing to say, please, like, take our experience and let's all learn from it together, and have a good constructive chat about it. It takes a lot. It takes a lot of humility, okay? So we're here back at the beginning of this little escapade here. And so the team in white with possession of the ball, they're leading, and Ink is coming with pressure. 2 tackles are ridden there, and then we have another foul here. And then we have the incident that kicks off this little melee. So I'm going to keep playing it, but what I'm interested in hearing from you, my friends watching at home, is I would love to hear from you some impressions about what you're seeing. And I'm not necessarily as interested in, like, this person did this. Like, oh, the white player threw his stick at, the Crusader player. That's a nice, that's a little, oh, I didn't notice that before, that there was a hug with 20. Who was the player who did the thing? Who threw in the tackle? Good use of words, Keely. So I'm interested in things that you're noticing, and I want you to specifically really try to look for, like, challenge yourself. I want you to look for things that maybe you're not normally going to talk about. Okay? Push yourself. So in our huddle on Monday, correct? Monday's a day of the week. I was able to have a really good chat with Brian and Vanry and Leela, who was there. And we went through all of this. And I am interested, Chad, please, again, chime in whenever there's something that I misrepresent or anything. Brian, see, here he is. Brian is in the chat. Okay. Good. So Chris jumping in here, number 3 is the accelerator, and he absolutely is. So number 3 is the one he's coming in right now towards 20 on, or 17 on the Crusaders. And that's when everything kind of goes down. Okay. So escalator, right? But not like an elevator, an escalator. Huh. So let's keep that one in mind. What else are you seeing in this situation? Okay, because I think there's a lot of individual details that if we go over this will help us prepare our plan for when we get back out there. And this is going to help Chad and Brian prepare their plans as well. So when they get back out on the pitch, they've got some more tools to be able to manage these situations differently. And perhaps prevent them from happening. And that's going to be the first thing that I'm going to touch on. So I'm going to wait for the rest of this to scroll by. You can see, okay, conversation. There's coaches out there. This is a school game. So these are under 18 players. And in many leagues, competitions, having coaches coming out onto the pitch is a no-go. It's not okay. But that's not necessarily the situation here. So I just want you to keep that in mind. Don't worry about the coaches being on the pitch. Okay, we're going to come back to the beginning now. And so I've set the stage and the context for you, because what I want you to think about is what builds, what happens before the actual incident. 2 tackles here are ridden through by the Crusader ball carrier. Okay, advantage is obviously an option here, but he's surrounded at this time. He's got 3 players around him, and he just got fouled by number 20, who wrapped around with the reverse side of his stick there a little bit. If I can scroll back just a little so I can show you. Okay, so here's a foul here that he rides through. Okay. And then we have the tackle that brings the player to ground. So let's see. Scott is noticing that both the umpires got in there quickly to start managing the matter. Absolutely. That is very correct. So the reason I spent so much time on that little segment before we had the tackle is because I think that there was an opportunity there to not play advantage, but to blow a quick whistle. Recognizing that you're getting to the business end of a close, contested game. One team is putting pressure on and trying to invite a turnover, and the other team is trying to maintain possession of the ball. One of your options is, instead of playing a lot of advantage, is to use your whistles more quickly. Call those free hits quickly so that you can create space and flow in the game. So had that whistle gone back at this moment, here, okay, what would have been available to that player? Okay, let's just see. Hi, Alex. Good to see you. Thank you, Chad. Sorry, I had that fact wrong. Thank you. There was a couple of under 18 players, but it was a club game. Okay, so these are adults. All right. So, I mean, I was thinking that this was a game where you needed a bit more of the authority stepping in, but okay. That's not important because we're here to worry about what the umpires are doing. So what would have happened if a quick free hit had been given after that initial foul? So Lou, the reason that 3 felt aggrieved on behalf of his teammate was at that moment there, right at that moment, Brian tells me he's the controlling umpire. He's on the far and the right-hand side of the pitch in our viewpoint, sort of threw his stick a little bit at 20. And it looks to me like he kind of kicked out with his foot a little bit too, which had been tripped up by 20 on ink. Okay. More than that, Chris, what he could have done at that particular moment is he gets fouled here. He has 3 players beat because they are caught within the 5 meters. So we have to think about how players essentially vanish the minute that we blow our whistle. And this is a skill that players need to develop as well, is that they have to expect that those players are now, boom, out of the picture. And you, as the player in possession, the ball carrier, able to play a quick self-pass, can now progress without them being in the picture. They cannot tackle you or influence the play or channel you until the ball has moved 5 meters. Think about how much space would have opened up. 3 is there, okay? But the Crusader player, number 17, could have dribbled out to the left, away from that, beating 3 players, okay? Also, when you blow your whistle more quickly at contentious moments of the game, and you create these quick self-passes, you eliminate dissent towards you, and you eliminate frustrations on the part of the ball carriers who don't want to be riding tackles necessarily. They want their skill to be protected. So you eliminate that temper and frustration, and you also eliminate the extras because the ball continues to be in play and it moves quickly. And the players aren't thinking about what each other are doing. They're thinking about, dang, I got to get back. Okay, so for me, I'm always looking for the why. Where did this start from? And to me, that is an opportunity. And if you're taking those opportunities to blow your whistle quickly, get the play going, you are going to help eliminate the possibility of these type of situations arising in your games. Okay, there you go. Exactly. Harmoot. I said I gave you a thank you earlier. I hope you saw it. There you go. That's okay, Aline. We're gonna break it down because these are tough situations, and trust me on this. Let me make it very clear that I have been in situations like this, and I have completely it up. Okay, so I am not speaking from a position of I've always been able to manage these fights just fine. No, that is not the case. I learned from my own mistakes, and what I want to do is help you all so that you don't have to make those mistakes. Gary with a quick whistle and a free hit. Yeah, he has space to move. Exactly. Thank you, Gary. Chad's adding some context here. And 3, so the player who comes running in apparently has a history with 20 due to previous years and altercations. Also, the one making the tackle is one of the under 18 players, so the adults are trying to protect him. Okay, that's good to know. Yeah, it's hard. So Rachel, one of these are the cues that you want to pick up on. What time of the game is it? How have the teams been reacting to my whistle timing so far? What's the temper level like in the game? Like, can I let things go? Something that we say a lot in FH games when we're having our pregame talk, and while we're on radios during a match, is we'll say things like, all right, start it out really tight. First 5, really tight, and then we'll see if we can let it out a little bit. We can let the game blossom. So where we're not intervening as much, but we're going to set the precedent, we're going to set the standard that you players are going to be protected with your skill. We are identifying the fouls. You're safe. Go play some hockey. And we're going to give you the opportunities to eliminate on quick step passes. And then you can start playing some advantage after that. Then things start to go a little wonky. Maybe there was a decision you weren't super happy about that you made and the players are a little contested. And then you're on the radios. Okay, let's bring it back in again. Bring it back in for the next 5 and see how it goes. So you react to that and you try it. And the best way to know if this is working is to try it. Stain, I saw the Crusader getting a yellow. Did 3 get 1 as well? Didn't see. Okay. And yeah, okay. Thanks, Nick. Appreciate that. With hindsight, perhaps the moment for the whistle could be the moment the ball carrier turns back. Yeah, he doesn't have opportunity to do anything with 3 players around him. So he has possession, but he doesn't have opportunity. Massive opportunity is free hit gets called, and then those guys don't even exist anymore. For 5 meters. See the difference? Okay, that's a really, really crucial sort of point. Okay, now when this all happens, this sort of melée, yes, they get mixed up with. Now, what I want you to just take a second, because I'm not so interested in, 3 did this and 17 did that and 20 did that. I don't really care about that, because I'm going to teach you how to identify the right players, not who the right players are in here. But do notice that there's, I think it's 17 from Inc. coming up from behind as well. And that turns around 20 on Crusaders and gets him, gets his attention there. And then 3 comes in from behind that. So he's getting surrounded by these 2 players. 20 is wisely staying out of it, which is probably a good maneuver. And then everything happens. Okay. So Scott, you pointed out earlier that the umpires got in there really quickly. And that's a good thing. Until it's not a good thing. Here's my suggestion. This is what I want you to think about. When both umpires get in the middle of a melée like this, and just speaking from experience, from being somebody who's jumped into the middle of a melee. You can't see. Okay? You are not only far too close to everybody so that your vision is like this big. You can't see what's happening to the side of you, in back of you, anything like that. But also you are now emotionally involved because you are under threat. And no, players aren't swinging at Chad and Brian here. I get it. But you are now in a physical situation where things can go very wrong. And I don't know about you guys. There's fight or flight responses, and then there's what I have, which is a fight or fight response. And, you know, maybe that's just high testosterone levels, or, you know, I just played in too many play fights when I was a 5-year-old. But to me, there's a big danger in the emotional state we put ourselves in as umpires when we get in the middle of these confrontations. Now, I'm not saying that neither of the umpires should have gone in there, but what if, as an alternative, only one umpire goes in there for safety's sake? If you really feel, and you know, you kind of have to try it out, but getting in the middle there and separating the players, that is an option. But what about the fact that at this moment in time, your biggest responsibility is seeing what happens? And you can't do that from the middle of the melee. Your game plan as a pair of umpires might be, instead of just both jumping in there, is, okay, if I'm closest to the melee, I'm going to run in there and I'm going to start grabbing jerseys, pulling them back. You, as my colleague who's further away, you're going to stand there with your writing instrument out. You're going to be all set and you're going to start writing things down. So I know I don't have to worry about getting the numbers and who did what and all that kind of stuff. Like, if I have impressions, fantastic, but that's not the main pressure on me. The main pressure on me is preserving the safety of the players. Good. You are going to take the numbers. When both of you go in there, neither of you are taking numbers. It makes it very, very hard. So if one had stood back and the other had been in there, they could have, at this point in their meeting, been saying, all right, I have 20 created a breakdown tackle from Inc. 17 from Inc. came up from behind and gave a push. 20 from Crusaders pushed him back. Number 3 came running up and gave a push as well. And then you've got it all written down and easily spotted, and then you can sort things out. Okay. I remember, okay, so I talked on the Holiday What Up Wednesday about how I had been involved in a melee like this in a women's international game between Trinidad and Tobago and the Netherlands Antilles in 2006. And it was the worst experience of my international career, bar none. Okay. It's not even my worst violation though, Niels, but I could tell you that, and then I could say, go watch that What Up Wednesday episode, and then you'd stop asking me questions. But I can't. This is number 2, what I'm telling you about. And you know what I did? When the fight broke out and the melee was going and the players were all schmozzling in, I ran in there and I literally grabbed women by the back of their neck and pushed them away. My colleague was at the other side of the pitch, not even paying attention. So that was problematic, because I would have hoped we hadn't talked about it, because, oh, it's women's hockey. It's going to be fine. Don't expect nothing's going to happen. Make the plan, and then you don't have to use it. It's Murphy's Law, folks. It's Murphy's Law. If the game means anything, this is always a possibility, regardless of what gender level, anything. And you hope it's not going to happen, but have a plan in place. Okay? The only thing I did right in that melee is the next thing I'm going to talk about at this point. And let me scroll back to this. Okay, when you have the players mixing around together, the thing that I'm not seeing very much of here is separation of the two teams. Okay, and I mean, things look okay. It's simmered down a bit. But what you want, you know, you see how things aren't really resolved, and then you've got a couple Crusaders players pushing it, you know, no, you go to the bench, no, you go to the bench, no, you don't tell me what to do, no, you shout, and things are still bubbling, okay? And that's because the two teams have not been separated. They must be separated, and that's the next job that you have. So, after you and your colleague have done your, okay, I'm going to go in and be the, you know, the enforcer, and then I'm going to be the recorder, then you separate the teams. Every single Crusader player gets behind that 23-meter line. Every one of you back there. All you Ink players, center line with the other umpire. And the two umpires move every player apart so that you don't have any other bull happening. Okay, I feel very sweary now. So this is for your protection. This is for the player's protection, to mitigate and to de-escalate the problem that has erupted. And you use the captains for this. Where are the captains on this, in this whole escapade? I have no idea, but they are the players. And if it's the ones who were involved in this melee, well, now you have trouble. You turn to somebody else who's more responsible and you say, I need your help. You get your players back there now. You get your players over there right now. And when you've done that, you take your time, and then while you have your eyes out, because there's moments here. The things that concern me about this is that you have the two umpires doing the same thing the whole time. So you, in essence, only have one umpire. They're turning the same way. They're addressing the same players. They're following each other around on the pitch. You need to be doing separate jobs, because that's the only way you can have eyes in the back of your head. Okay? So you've got the teams separated. You can have your little conversation with safety, knowing nothing else is going to go down because they're all far away from each other, and say, okay, we've got number 20 doing this, the other number 20 doing this, 3 doing this, 17 doing this. What are we going to do? Okay, we're going to green, yellow, yellow, yellow. Whatever. I don't care. I honestly don't care. Whatever those two decided, because they were in there and they saw things better than what we're seeing, those are the decisions that needed to be made. But they do that, and then captain, get in here. This is the story. Get your players on the benches and in the suspension chairs, and then we're going to start playing hockey again. And if any player from any team so much as looks at each other crossways, you don't want that to happen. That's the speech that I would give, and I would try to simmer down. You can see I get even animated just describing it, okay? I'm going to go through some comments now because I want to hear your thoughts. Okay, Brian, 17 white got a yellow, and so did 3 purple. Okay, which is good. And Brian and Chad, didn't 20 on ink get a green for the breakdown tackle there too? Which is a fair card as well. Like, sure. Lucio also doesn't know how to handle it. Okay, if one ump were to stay back, not always possible, or remove themselves from the melee, they get a much better. Now, honestly, what you're saying is that, you know, that an umpire, it's impossible for an umpire to stay back because they need to get in and stop a fight. That is not your job. That's just like an umpire's job isn't to deliver medical services to a player who has been injured on the pitch. You don't have that expertise. You're not in that role. That is not your job. Okay? Your job is to understand what's happening so that you can have the proper discipline coming. This is not, this is past proactivity. This is results. This is consequences. And you are the only two people who can give out those consequences and give the proper advice and have the proper information, because you are the only two neutral arbitrators out there, and nobody else is going to be able to say anything remotely sane because they are emotionally involved in the situation. Video helps, but it's not the best. Okay, so I really want to encourage you to think about that. I really, really want to see that happen. It would have to be a hell of a situation where it would be negligent for you not to step in and stop something from happening. The both of you. One of you really does need, as much as humanly possible, to stay out of it. Scott, would you say that we stay that way for the rest of the game? One leading and one observing from... No, I wouldn't. This is really specific to this melee situation where you have, I don't know, 15, 18 players all within a 10-meter space. And there's violence potential and all kinds of stuff happening. Okay. Rachel, suggestion for the umpires coming to it. Find a spot where you can both see the teams. Yes, exactly. It really does help, though, when you have them away from each other, because, you know, they can probably make gestures at each other and yell and swear. They can make gestures at you, whatever. But the biggest risks are them being close up in each other's faces. So you're stopping that from happening. Okay. In terms of giving the cards in this situation, again, Brian, I actually didn't mention it on Monday, but let me just pop that in there now. Here, it worked out, and it was okay, that he walked into the group and walked towards one of the players he was going to yellow card. Okay, this is the only time that they went and did separate roles, so I like this part, but he walks right into the middle of that and then gives the no. You stay away from the players. You use the captains to say, go get number 17. This card is for them. And you make sure they get to the bench, captain. I want them sat down right now. And you do it methodically. You don't send off the two players who have just been tussling with each other off at the same time, running beside each other. Right? You have stop time. There is no hurry here. And the more time you take, the more tempers are going to fade away. So take your time. And keep them separated, said the offspring. You got to keep them separated. Assume 2 10-minute yellows were given out. Not sure I would have handled this. Always wondered. Yep. And that's very good too. And there's another benefit to having a player to the side of you when you're talking to them, is that it is a non-confrontational body posture. You are aligned with them. You are on their side. I've talked about this before, and I absolutely love this trick, and I use it all the time with both genders in a variety of situations when I'm trying to change the dynamic and the relationship and the emotional atmosphere, what's happening between me and the players and all the other players together and all that stuff. Side by side, all of a sudden you're like, hey, friend. Right? Instead of head on, right? You can feel that energy and that aggression. And if you as an umpire have any of that within you, come on, button, press. Right? So this is my way as well of mitigating my own, big baller energy and getting a player on side and going, okay, hey, we are in this together. We're working together. Let's fix it. Okay. Love that. Good. That's it. I'm really glad you pointed that out, Rachel. That's very useful. Yep. Yeah. Need to see everybody. Yeah. Like the stream. Yes. Where are the captains to get their teams away? Like what? Like what? Oh, and you're the best. Yep. Okay. So these are all the little details. These are the details. I'm really not concerned about what number 3 did or 20 or 17 or blah, blah, blah. What I'm concerned about are the skills that you use and the techniques that you have available to you. Okay, so your first priority is make sure you get the numbers. One of you has to do that. So figure out between the two of you right away who that person is going to be. Have it in your pregame talk if there's even a remote possibility. But if you're there together, it's like, no, you stay back. Write it down. Write it down. Do something. Okay? If both of you can stay out of it, better. Okay? Then you separate the teams. Move them away from each other into separate areas. Then you check the record. And then you bring the captains to you. Explain what's going to happen. This is not a time for discussion. This is an explanation so they have the information they need and they understand your logic and what you saw. And then you obtain their assistance to make sure the players go to where they need to be, the suspension chairs, or pick up their possessions and leave the field because they're not permitted to participate in the rest of the game because they've received a red card. Okay? You see the difference? These are the little touches that absolutely make the whole difference. And then in the whole scheme of things, could a quick whistle have prevented any of this from happening? And I don't mean to be all butterfly effect. Like obviously, if things happen differently, everything changes. But these are the moments and the opportunities. Okay? And to separate their teams for the other ones and put them on the bench in the suspension chair is what the captain should do. Yeah, it helps. And again, this is a really good way to get the captains on your side because you're trying to put a layer in between your exercise of authority in a very volatile situation and their players. And you're delegating these responsibilities to the captain. And that helps to just, disperse it a little bit. You're giving the captains an opportunity to make stuff better. When never should have gotten like this, and the captain should have stopped this from happening in the first place. If you didn't have so many players you can card at this time, you'd be looking at the captains and saying, okay, you two knuckleheads, off you go, because you didn't prevent this from happening. If you can't find particular numbers that you want to peg for responsibility, if you've done the wrong thing and you've gone running in there like a superhero and started grab, push, shove, physically removing players, then it's the captains. And you hold the captains responsible for the conduct of their players. Okay? That is a lot of stuff. And really, again, I just want to say thank you again to Chad and Brian, and I hope that was very, very helpful for both of you. Really good input from everybody on this, and it's always a very difficult emotional time when you see this kind of stuff happen on the pitch, and you're going to feel like a failure. You're going to feel like you let everybody down because this happened in your game and your job is to keep the game flowing and everybody's safe and all this kind of stuff. I know it's awful. But at the end of the day, players are responsible for their own behavior. I'm just helping you with the tools that you can take away so you can handle their mistakes to the best of your ability. That's what I would do. was actually a boxer when I was in my 20s for a while, until I had concussion issues because of hockey, not because of boxing. I mean, I got punched when I was boxing, but the concussions had happened because I'd been hit in the head too many times with a hockey ball. And anyway, and I had to give it up. So there you go. Now there's another reason why I'm fight or fight. All right. Let's see. Chad, the purple captain, wasn't happy because he received a yellow for too many players on the pitch. So the ink captain was off the pitch at that moment, right? Is that what you're saying? Because this is when you may have noticed, but, well, is this a regulation or a rule? Okay, smarties at home, go look in the rules of hockey for me right now. I'm going to do it too. And I'm going to look up captains. I have opened the rules of hockey. Captains. Composition of teams. Replace. It is in the rules. It's not a regulation. Thank you very much. Can I put this up on the screen? Let's see. I'm going to do this. Like, let's just do this on the fly because it's fun. Like a boss. And it's going to cover... Oh, I didn't do that right. My program window is in the way. Let's try it again. So 3.2. Rule 3.2, which is what I am trying to put up on the screen. Yeah, I can do this. 3.2, a replacement captain must be appointed when a captain is suspended. This is why. Right here, right now, bang. This is the moment. This is the moment. 3.2. Did you know that rule? I barely knew that rule. Keely, it's a rule. Mark knew the rule. I only suspected the rule. Mark knew. You're the boss. Love it. Oh, it was before the situation, but he still had a grudge. Okay. Well, it was a good tangent anyway, and let me, do that. There you go. It was messy, okay? But let me tell you, I've been in worse and I've done worse, okay? So I really want Chad and Brian to walk away from this going, you know what? This is just a dope learning opportunity. You can't change what happened. All you can do is taste this experience. And a lot of us never get this chance. I know that sounds really weird to say that a melee breaking out in your game is an opportunity, but it is a learning experience. And if you're umpiring in an area where this is going to happen, you're going to go through it, and it's going to be an absolute show the first time that it happens, because all the things that you intellectually understand should happen don't. You don't do them. There you go. And this is why you have assistant captains. Yeah, I mean, I think you've seen it. If you've paid attention, sometimes a captain will. If they're injured. So I remember when Thomas Briel was injured in the, excuse me, he was injured in the semifinal of the Pro League final, and he was wearing the band and he had to take it off. And I can't remember who he gave it to, but obviously they knew what their chain of responsibility was. And there we go. Yeah, really difficult situation, guys. So our empathies go out to you, but we really appreciate the opportunity to be able to discuss this and go through it. You frequently forget to ask who the replacement captain is. Yeah. And so here's a good reminder when and why we would want to do that. So there you go. Okay, I think we have absolutely hammered that situation. We've nailed it. I'm just doing these for Nick now. And holy smokes, it's been an hour. Neil. angles. Yep. Okay. Yep. Thank you very much. And Chad and Brian, you've got my contact info. You can WhatsApp and we can follow up on this if there's anything else. But hopefully, I know Brian, you take lots of notes. Chad, maybe you took notes too. And you've got some tools now for the next time around. Exactly. Honestly, you're just like, okay, how stupid are you going to be? I'm ready. Okay, because you're not a police officer or super person or a medic or any of those things. You're the umpire. Very, very funny. Sounds like a plan. Okay, let's go to this one. Okay. Do we have sound? We might have sound. We have some sound. I'll play this a few times. It's a very short clip. There's a lot of wind. Simon, you just missed the longest discussion ever. Okay, hopefully you can see this. Again, it's another Hockey Film G Instagram vertical post. Then you can use the shiny red. Says Andy. Okay, so let me know. I'm going to let you see it quite a few times. And then you can tell me what you think. Yeah, exactly. This was Andy's. There's like some cool jazzy hip hop going on in the background, and I love that. Oh yeah, it's a terrible angle. Yeah. Sort of. I mean, it's at least behind the goal, but I like that. Yeah, I'm not sure what level of game this came from or anything like that. But okay, I'm gonna turn off the sound now and just let it run. All right, friends, frenemies, lend me your thoughts. It looks like a deflection off a defender, so penalty corner, okay? So Rachel, tell me more about why you would go with a penalty corner at that moment. Because the ball does go in the back of the net and ends up that way. Ends up that way. Here. I'm even going to put your... Okay, I was going to try to put your comments up. Do. And he's not going to spoil it. Yeah, you don't get to give out the answers. That would be cheating. Okay. See earlier, ball in the air and being swung at by two players. Okay, is it... Okay, let's see. Is it this that you're concerned about, this moment here? Rachel? Let me pause that and then I can do. Okay, so the ball is coming down at this moment here. It bounces. So deflects off white. Bounces. And then in the net. No reaction white, up, off white, good goal, says Simon. It's a deflection by a defender, then great advantage, says Alex. I can do that. There we go. My first thought was the same as Rachel, says Scott, but now I think a player from each team stepped to it before it landed. PC says stain if you deem it to be dangerous to the defender and attacker in front of the goal scorer. So this human grouping right here. Okay. I think it's difficult to see, but you've got the ball coming down, and it appears to be coming down behind. So it's not coming down in between the white and black player here. It's actually coming in behind. So the white player sort of reaches for it, which is dangerous, but the ball itself isn't dangerous to that black player. He just misses it. It bounces on the ground, and then you get to this moment here. How do we feel about this moment here? I'm just going to play with my trackpad while you guys chat amongst yourselves. Okay, so the ball is waist height-ish at this moment. To me, I see the black attacker being closer to the ball in pretty good position. And yeah, he takes a decent swing at it, but you know, he's not completely teeing it up behind his head or anything crazy like that. And the white defender who's marking him is in poor marking position. He is not ball side. He's goal side, but he's not ball side. So he's going to get beaten to that ball. Okay. So I'll let it roll for a second. So in the final moment, it was a good goal. Andy's original thought was a PC, but you've since changed your mind because, I don't know. You were looking at the danger of the landing zone in the D. Now, thank you for saying it, Andy, okay? And again, this is not throwing shade. This is something that I want to work on with everybody in the hockey world, but especially with you because you're my favorites. I want to work on vocabulary that influences the way we perceive and we rationalize our decisions. Because I believe this notion of a landing zone is exactly why aerial balls are so up right now. Okay? We started off with this conception that aerials, we started off in the game when they first started, that they were very static events. And the ball would drop from a high height downwards into players. And we said that we created this myth, really, based around the language that we used. There's a 5-meter disc painted, and it's actually it's like a 10-meter diameter. It's like okay, I don't know geometry. I'm getting my terms mixed up. But anyway, that there's a 5-meter disc that we paint on the ground around the initial receiver. Okay? And anywhere within that disc, which is in essence 10 meters wide because it's 5 meters that way, 5 meters, 5 meters, 5 meters, like 5 meters in all directions around this player, they have this area in which to receive the ball. As it turns out, that's really dumb because that's not where danger actually exists. Danger only exists because there's a ball involved, not because there's a painted disc on the ground involved. I feel like I've ranted about this before with you guys. Whatever, we're going to do this again. The ball is dangerous in the air, vis-a-vis the trajectory and the pathway it's taking towards the players involved. So if you look at a landing zone with the first group of two of the players, yes, the ball is coming into an area where there's two players that are within 5 meters of each other, and so that's probably dangerous. Not an aerial ball, but it's probably dangerous, so I should do something about it. But the white defender is behind the black defender, or the black attacker, and can only create danger by flashing his stick in front of him, which he kind of does. But again, it's another play on situation from that, or it's another advantage situation from that. Okay? And then attacker beats defender to ball. Okay. I want us to stop talking about landing zones and start talking about ball trajectory and where it is vis-a-vis the players. Because if we don't get our heads around this, guess what? There is a briefing that's coming out in Tokyo, and spoiler alert, I'm going to be doing 2 workshops with Rob Tencat for the FH Academy coming up, hopefully, if they accept Rob's proposal. The first one is an aerial workshop, and we are going to talk about this. And then we're going to do a preview to Tokyo and a debriefing of Tokyo. And we're going to go through the umpires briefing for Tokyo. And then we're all going to watch games, and you're going to have exercises to do. And then we're going to do a debrief of how the briefing went and how it was actually employed in Tokyo. The aerials are going to be everything. It's going to be the whole thing anyway. So we're going to do like a workshop to get everybody ready. And then we're going to do a briefing about Tokyo. And then we're going to do not a post-mortem, because that's terrible, but we're going to do a tournament debrief together. And this is what you are going to see. You are going to see interceptions of aerials because it's safe, because the ball is in the space here, not that there's a disc drawn on the surface of the field. Okay? So I want you to consciously ditch the notion, banish it from vocabulary, landing zone. It's not helping you understand the call. Okay? That was a good one. That was a good rant. Oh, gosh, I need to take a sip of water after that. I'm dehydrated from excellence. Okay. You're excited for this. I'm excited for this. Let's see. I'm going to scroll back a little bit. Andy's on the goal party bus now. Good. Okay. Lucio, good goal. No PC. James Bartrip, good to see you. Attackers ahead. Yes, exactly. Okay, so think about, as long as that attacker plays responsibly and doesn't totally lumberjack that thing, follow through like a nut bar. Okay, and we're at the point now where we're having to say, look, if you want to play good hockey and if you want us to stay out of your way, you players have to behave responsibly towards each other's. If you don't, you can't have nice things. You can't have this. You can't have great skill and amazing goals. If you're going to be a bunch of party poopers out there, we're going to stop you in your tracks. And you know what your level of play if that is the situation that you're in. Ian goal, but probably would have blown on PC for safety grounds on the initial raise, or for the 2 players swinging pre-bounce. And then I think the attacker's swing looks safe. Okay. So I'm okay if you decide that this is dangerous because you know that the players aren't going to behave responsibly at your level, or there's too much of a risk that there's going to be irresponsibility shown on the pitch, then call it down. Absolutely. But you better call it down before it gets to that attacker, that second set of players. Or else you're going to look like the guy who's calling off a goal in order to give them a PC, and that ain't pretty. It's not pretty hockey. We don't like that, friends. Scott, only a white player seems to be in danger or taking evasive action, which doesn't matter because unless the attacker is creating that danger. But if it's evasive action from the ball that was created by another defender, you can only create danger to your opponents. That is the only time you call a foul because it disadvantages an opponent. Still on that trap. Okay, got it. Ah, there you go. And you can't make a ball dangerous for your own teammates. So now you think goal. You people are smart. Gary, your first thought is a PC after the initial deflection. On reflection, when the ball drops, it's not dangerous. And this is the moment, right? You're sitting there going, okay, you need to you've just been watching the play coming down the right wing, so off the left side of your body. But if your positioning is good, and this umpire is actually doing a pretty good job, and she's stepping back so she's got a broader view, you got to peg where the players are in the circle so that you can guess, like a boss, at that moment of the deflection, is this going to be okay or not? And if you're not sure, if you're really not sure if this is making you cringe, just call it. Just call it. That's okay. But it's got to be fast. And this is one of the reasons why when I talk about whistle technique, this is why as this ball is coming into contact here, I'd be popping my whistle in. Because something's going to happen. There's going to be a stick obstruction or a foot out there on that right side attack off my left side there. If I'm this person, she's got the same color hair as me, so it could be her. I could be her, except she's, a lot younger. So as I'm seeing that ball coming into contact, I'm ready. And I've just got my whistle in my mouth. I could go either way, but I'm there because I'm not going to be doing any proactive talk at that moment. I am going to be reacting very, very quickly because whatever I do, I don't want it to, if I think it's going to be dangerous, I don't want to get it to the point where it will be dangerous. So knowing how much space and having pre-assessed how much space there is in the circle, who's marking whom, who's open, that kind of stuff. And it's just like, yeah, you're not sitting there writing an essay in your brain about the whole scenario in the circle. It is literally a flash instinct of peg, got it. And that helps inform your decision making. And it's a mysterious process, but I think we can all do this. There we go. That's awesome, you guys. Scott is going to risk. Wait. This one. Scott, you're going to risk it? Saying that it's not even playing advantage because there wasn't an offense. Yeah, that's fine. Absolutely fine too. And that is the interesting part about danger, is that danger either is or it isn't. You don't really play advantage off danger because if it's not dangerous, like if it's dangerous, you don't have advantage. Like you can't. Because danger is the essence of what takes away an opportunity to play. That's my deep, deep thought for the day. Wait, if I did this one and I did this and I went like, oh, I always press the wrong button, but if we do this. Nick, you liking my sound effects? Yeah, you do. Yeah, you do. Okay. I'm going to stop pressing buttons now. Okay. Chad, PC to be blown early because the possible danger occurs from the swinging sticks. So Chad, if it was the third quarter or the fourth quarter of the match that we just watched for you, I'd say, yeah, I call that penalty corner right away. But I do obviously cheer for the fact that this became a goal because everybody likes a goal more. And you can even see with all these players, nobody is turning and looking in the umpire's direction. They're all like, yeah, okay. Every defender is just, there's like one glance back by one guy and that's it. Goalkeeper doesn't even. Can you all join in? If you're talking about the FH Academy, yes, you can. You can join in those courses. Obviously, I'm going to be pushing these out like crazy on the socials because I'm super excited about them. I love working with Rob. He is awesome and he barely tolerates my craziness. And that's why we're a good combo. Comes back to the empathy that you mentioned last week, Rachel. The higher the level, the more likely you are to play on. Yep. Absolutely. Simon, looking at the body language. Oh my God. We are like mental twinsies, Simon. There you go. Simon, you saw a major change at all the 8 Pro League London games. All umps much earlier with the whistle. Players and management seemed happy with this. It's very interesting. I hadn't noticed that shift myself, Simon, but I'm gonna look for that. Yeah. If you're quick enough, you'd blow early. And of course, Nils is going to be on the Discord telling everybody about the things. It's 1:26, guys. Twitter rant. Twitter rant time. Okay. It's a chapter change, mods. Don't worry about it. We just have a thing that we do. So, I just want to leave you with a thought, because I like thoughts and I like leaving you with them. This was a USA Field Hockey tweet a few days ago. This is a picture of my friend, Mary Driscoll, who is a wonderful, wonderful human being and a very good umpire. And I'm very privileged to know her. And this is absolutely no shade on her, because we are taught to think this way. Okay, we hear this from coaches and players and from each other, and it's an ism that we grow up with. One of those magical isms. So if you click through on this, so just go to my Twitter profile, and obviously it's at FHumpires, and it's not too far back, but that's where I go to argue about things. Twitter is argument place. Instagram is pretty place. Facebook is community place. Everything's got its place. YouTube is streaming place. So the tenor of this entire sort of article is that, you know, it's great to be an umpire, and great umpiring is when you're not seen. And this is a quote from her right from it, that my big theory is to get out on the field and to be a ghost. And I am here in this moment with you as my friends, challenging this, because I don't accept this anymore. I absolutely do not accept this. This is not, I think, a constructive paradigm to impose on umpiring and officials. Not in our sport. Maybe in other sports. I don't know. I'm not judging cricket or baseball or korfball or synchronized swimming. Don't know. But what I do know about hockey is that we have a much bigger role than many arbiters of sport because of how our rules are shaped. And that is why hockey is such an amazing game. Okay? It doesn't detract from it. We actually help produce. Now, we are not the center of the game. I will never, ever argue that. Not in a million years. We are there to serve the game, but we are a big part of it. And what I know about what I've been doing for the last 15 years now with FHumpires, as social media has become a big thing and umpires have started being individuals and present and all these things, what I do know is that the more we see of the umpires, the more people understand how good they are. Last weekend, the GB USA games, the GB Germany games, the week prior, dead silently Valley, and you could hear the umpire comms really, really clearly. And I had a ton of people messaging me saying, wow, these umpires are really good. I understand what they're thinking and what they're saying to the players, and they're really handling them well. And right? If you weren't hearing them and you weren't seeing them, you wouldn't even grasp what they were bringing to the game. Not at all. And when we fade in the background and when we're ghosts instead of human beings, it is so easy for us to get treated like Diego Barbas did 2 years ago. We're not humans. We're not individuals with personalities and kids and jobs and injuries and hopes and shortcomings and terrible dad jokes. We're just objects. We're dehumanized. And in order for the respect that we need to learn how to respect such a big group of humans in today's world. Primitively, you never came into so much contact with so many people. And now we're in a position where we are meeting and seeing and observing and a part of communities with so many human beings. And it's really hard to figure out who's in our tribe and who's not. And the best way to know who's in our tribe is for them to be recognized for their individuality. We need to be visible. We need to be seen. We need to be understood. We need to be a part of the game. We are not best positioned if we are anonymous, if we are ghosts on the pitch. And obviously, I've been, in a way, working against this for years. Pushing out appointments and sharing photos and celebrating umpire wins and doing the education, but not just that, trying to raise the profile, all the umpire at home interviews. This is so people can get to know the individuals, not ghosts. So that is my Twitter thought of the day. I'm interested to hear what you think. If I'm full of it or one of the smarter human beings on the planet. There you go. Let's see. Good. I'm looking forward to seeing you over there, Aline. This is the Discord link. Let's see. Oops. Let's do that. And actually, let's just do this. Change that. Andy will be there to chat. Here's the link. Absolutely, Simon. Go get your wine. Come and get your wine. I was listening to that song earlier. It's a really cute song. I got to be careful. If I sing too much, it'll be a copyright strike. We've officially passed a Keely hour. You know what that means, Niels. You're going to hate me. Because I'm skipping the other topic again. I'm a terrible human being, but you love me anyway. Thank you so much for joining. And thank you for telling me your thoughts, giving me your input. Thanks for sharing your scenarios. If any of you have footage that you think can be beneficial for the community, please get in touch with me. Let's have a chat about it. We'll talk about it, individually first. And then if it's a good fit and you're comfortable, we can bring it to the community and have a chat about it. And yeah. Oops. Don't forget, Friday, Lila Sacre. Subscribe to get your notifications of this. Obviously, I plastered all of the social media, but it's there as well. Next Thursday, Martin Madden. Get your fill now, because Europeans, I don't know if I'm going to What Up Wednesday during Europeans. And then the week after, I'm going to be in the US unless something happens. So so that's why I'm stacking it now. I'm giving you a whole bunch of stuff so that you have replays to tide you over when I'm busy. And yeah. I'm not, but I put it at the end of the list so that I can avoid it. I am so glad, Rachel, always glad that you're here, and glad you enjoyed it as well. I don't know. Maybe I'll answer it in Discord. How's that? How's that for you? If you want to hear the sad tea, Lucio, you're very welcome. And Gary, I'm an hour asterisk. I love it. Stain, I'm so glad you made it. It's great to see you and have you on board. And there you go. And there's the Discord. You are all over it. You are all over it. I love it, Niels. And yes, see you on Friday, and see you for a weekend watch party. Yes, I'm going to do a weekend watch party on Sunday for the men's Netherlands-Belgium game. If you are in FHU 3T Yellow, go sign up. It's really fun. Trust me. Thanks for joining, and I will see you Friday. Bye.